Hi there, Tim Bauer here from LiveVideoGuitarLessons.com with the practice tip of the day. This one is for the beginning player. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about learning how to place all your fingertips down simultaneously when you're playing your chords and when you're changing your chords. Looks a little something like this. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to look when you're playing guitar. But let's say you've only been playing if you've been playing a few months, you're already doing that. But if you've only been playing a couple of weeks, that's kind of the target for this video. You've been playing, I don't know, a few weeks, and you have your chords down where you can play them. But typically when people first learn, for the first few weeks, they have to kind of place their fingertips down one at a time, just because it's a lot to remember at first. So you're making your D chord and you're playing it correctly, and it's not muting anything out, it's not buzzing or anything. But it takes you too long to get it there because you're placing one finger down at a time. That's what we're going to fix with this video. All right, so an exercise you can do to fix that is you just have to, whatever chord progression you're working on, let's just work with the key of D. And we'll play a D chord, B minor chord, A chord, and a G chord. And you can either use the 3-finger G chord or the 4-finger, doesn't matter, whichever is easiest. And but we're not going to worry too much about tempo. Actually, we're not going to worry at all about tempo at first. We're going to force ourselves to put those fingertips down. We have to form the chord in the air. Hopefully you can see that. So my fingertips are all on a level plane before I get down to the guitar. And I have to force myself to keep them that way. And so the very first part of this exercise, to kind of get where that plane is, you play your chord, put it down however you have to. Let's work with D. And you put it down there, and then you pick it up off the strings about 1/16 of an inch, just barely, but kind of tighten up your hand, the muscle back here on the back of your forearm just a little bit, so you can hold that shape, so it doesn't all fly apart when you pick it up. So you want to do that. Let's say we have to do it as much as you have to do it, but let's do that 12 times. All right, so I squeeze my chord, barely pick it up, keep the same shape, put them all back down at the same time. And do that very slowly, and if any of your fingers go down before, if one touches before the other two do, or if they don't all touch at the same time, that doesn't count as a repetition. It has to be 12 good ones. So, and you might do it faster, you might pick it up a little farther toward the end of that, so you do it 5 or 6 good times, start picking it up a little higher. Alright, so then you want to do that with the next chord. We were going to B minor. You may be playing a 3-finger B minor chord. That's fine if you want to use that one. I like the 4-finger one better. They're both, this is another video, but they're both smaller versions of the full B minor chord. I don't like to play the 3-finger B minor chord because it's so small. So I'm going to demonstrate the 4-finger. And we want to use the 4-finger anyway, probably because we have to incorporate that 4th finger. It makes the exercise a little bit harder. So do the same thing with the B minor chord. Put it down there however you have to get it down there. And then do the same thing. Pick it up slowly, put it down, and pick it up, 12 times. Same thing. Alright, so those are the first 2 chords in our progression. Alright, so now we're going to get a little bit more difficult. I'm going to change from my D chord, and take your time with this. Do it as slowly as you have to. Pick your D chord up, change it into the shape of the B minor chord, hover it over where the strings are, and then place it down. And then go back to the D chord, very slow. Hopefully you can see that. I'm just kind of hovering over the strings. I'm just going to go back and forth very slowly, making sure all my fingers hit at the same time. And then you can probably tell where we're going next. You might want to do that, 10 or 12 times and get used to that. And notice we don't have to play anything over here. You can if you want, And then put that down and back. And then we're going to take the next 2 chords. We're going B minor to A. You're going to like A. A is the easiest one of the bunch here. So, because if your fingertips are like that, they're all together like that on the same plane. I don't know if you can see that. That's all you have to do to get the A. That's how far apart your strings are usually. So we're going to go B minor, but we're still going to do the same number of repetitions. So, let's add our new. So our new chord is A. So we want to do it a few times just with A by itself. Put it down however you have to get it down there. Pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down. All right, then go back to the B minor. And then change from B minor to A, 10 or 12 times, or if you'll start feeling more confident with it. If it takes 20 times, then it takes 20 times. If it takes 8 times, it only takes 8 times. Just do it as much as you have to. And by the way, do this daily until you're comfortable with it. It's not going to take you 6 months. You might do it 3 or 4 days, and you'll notice, actually, you'll notice the first day, you know, when you start getting more repetitions in, that you'll notice that it gets easier and easier and easier. So the second day is much easier than the first, and the third day is much easier. But I don't expect you to have to do this for 2 weeks or anything. You know, 3 or 4 days you probably get it done. So, and same thing when you go to the G chord. And whatever chord progression you're working with, doesn't matter. Just, you know, pick a chord progression out of whatever song you're working with. And you just have to kind of, this might be a song that you can already play. You know, you might be able to play, kind of change it on whole notes. And that's fine, because that's also a way to learn. There's a lot of different ways to learn how to play. So, you know, you just have to, this is going to feel like you're slowing down a little bit, because you can probably change them faster going one at a time like that. But that's not going to, that's really going to mess you up later in your guitar playing career. Not a lot later, I mean like over the next forever. I mean, you can't change chords like that most of the time. It's too slow. And you end up hitting, like with C, you end up, you know, usually if you're doing like an arpeggio or something, the first note you need is that bass note. If you're used to putting your C note down first finger first, I see this all the time, it's going to be way too late by the time you get to that C note. Especially if you're doing an arpeggio, the note where you're supposed to, I mean the time when you were supposed to hit that bass C note, it's already passed by the time you get your fingers down. So anyway, just buckle down and do that exercise. It's not hard, and you'll notice how much faster you can change chords that way. Plus it's a lot cleaner, and you know, it's just more efficient. It sounds a whole lot less sloppy. You have to do it. So anyway, or you have to fix that. That's a good exercise to do it. There may be other ways to do it. That's my favorite. So anyway, thanks for tuning in for this practice tip. Tune in again tomorrow for another one, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.